Alright guys, welcome to VALORANT News. Absolute chaos last night as after weeks of scrims with the Sentinels team, it seems that Zellsis is on his way out of that organisation and on his way back to none other than Cloud9. Big rumours emerging last night that Cloud9 have not only dropped Mitch, their in-game leader, that's now been confirmed, but that Zellsis is the man to potentially come and replace him. What is going on right now in Rostermania? Very much into your thoughts in the comments. Hit the like button if you enjoy. Subscribe if you're new as always. Let's begin here. Sylvan, formerly T1. We know that T1, after winning Bangkok, things didn't quite go to plan for the rest of the season. They are looking for a serious rebuild. Team Secret, they let a number of their players go. Again, Team Secret are an interesting organization, right? Because they always, every couple of months, they get like a crazy result. And then it, of course, goes nowhere. But Sylvan will go to Secret next season. That's what sources said. That has now been confirmed as well. So, very notable change, actually, I think, Sylvan coming in here to, well, Team Secret, rather than, of course, T1. What are T1 going to do as part of their rebuild? Also a very good question. We'll find out in due course. But plenty else going on today. This is one. Doma, Enterprise Esports, they didn't quite make it through in the end. Actually, they didn't really get that close to winning Ascension for Europe, as we turned out. And, of course, it was a couple of Turkish teams that made it through Ascension. No shock there. Most of those says about Doma: reliable, loyal, can win you big rounds. First thing I look for in players. If you've got questions, then reference me too. Look, some would say, hey, Fnatic, just bring in Doma, right? Bring him back in. You need a player for Chronicle. I don't think they're going to do that. It's something to think about. Now, I do have a clip to share, actually. This kind of came out of nowhere. There was a stream a couple of days ago. You can hear Ye in the background. Kind of a funny way for a leak to happen, but we've not heard much about Ye. The only thing we understand is that he's probably not going to be on EG anymore. He's not been spotted in any Evil Genius's scrims. And we're pretty sure that he's going to be let go, which is, you know, interesting. I thought they might build around Derek and Ye, but it doesn't seem like that is going to be the case. Now, that's not been confirmed yet officially. You can see in his bio, if we go to his page here, professional VALORANT player for Evil Geniuses. So, you know, he's still there for now. But I just wanted to share this clip because in the background he says quite clearly, look, I was playing for EG, that's no longer the case, and in the near future, I'm going to be joining another team. Now, would he say this if he didn't have strong conversations with another team? It sounds to me that despite the fact that there have been, as it stands, no real rumours on Ye, no scrumbucks where Ye's been spotted playing with a certain team, this implies for sure that Ye has a team he's been heavily speaking to and is probably going to sign for in the near future. So Ye is probably going to be back. Is it going to be in the Americas? Also a good question.
Months? So I have like another 2 months before like the actual season starts. So I've just been playing some of this.
I haven't been keeping up. Like, are you like playing for a team right now?
Yeah.
Who are you playing for?
I was playing for EG, but I'll probably be playing for like a new team here pretty soon.
Wait. That's actually
I can't leak.
Can't leak. Damn, bro.
Speaking of the Americas, let's get into the other drama. So, reports have it, MIBR have effectively locked in their roster for next season. Verno, after some flirting with Sentinels, is set to stay. Again, this is effectively it's Aspas's team. Reports have it, he wanted Zekken, MIBR went out and got Zekken. If he wants some player to stay or if he wants some player to go, that effectively will happen. And because he's Aspas, he can effectively ask for what he wants and probably get most of it. And of course, everyone wants to play with him because they feel like Aspas is a potential key to championship glory, and very much understandably so. We also have rumours that Tex is going to be their fifth man. So this is a very interesting development. Again, given the Leviathan situation with Tex, there is maybe a reason why Aspas is quite keen for this, but this is reportedly the roster of 5. Aspas, Zekken, Verno, with Mazzino and Tex rounding out the team. Now, I guess the question is for you guys, would you consider this to be a super team, or is it just a very well put together team with star power, or is it not very well put together? What do you think? Aspas and Zekken is a phenomenal start. I mean, I don't think it gets any better than that. Verno clearly impressed Aspas with his in-game leading towards the end of last season. That is set to continue. You know, I rate Verno pretty highly as well. That makes a lot of sense. Mazzino, I see the vision there for sure. Tex, I actually like Tex as a player, but I do think this is pretty controversial. This is probably the most controversial piece of this lineup, especially because Cortesia's gone, right? And why? I think that's the key question. Because Cortasia, great player last season for this roster on the Senti. So, you know, would you take on a head-to-head basis Tex over Cortasia? I think most people would say you'd probably keep Cortasia. So why, right? Was there any friction with Aspas? Did he want him to go a different direction? In the deal for Zekken with Sentinels, have Sen found a way to be like, okay, you know, all right, you'll take Zekken, but we want to get Cortasia back. But I don't think Sen would have the power to do that because Zekken was a free agent. It's not like this is a trade, right? So, you know, the same could be true the other way around as well. So definitely interesting. I'd be fascinated to find out in due course why Cortasia hasn't come back here, because I do like this roster. Look, do I think they're going to go and win every international tournament? No. I think, you know, maybe they win. It's a very competitive like situation in VALORANT, right? We've got 48 teams around the world. Winning these internationals is tough. You know, I think that they have a great chance to win one, maybe even more. You know, regionally, I think they could well be on top of the Americas. Absolutely possible. So, you know, we'll see. It's an exciting roster, definitely, but some still questions that I have. Now, speaking of Cortasia, this also has been known for a few days now to be pretty much a done deal. Sen Cortasia is a thing. They will be signing him for the upcoming season, no longer with MIBR. Maybe they should have kept him, but whatever. Sentinels have swooped in. They've got that deal done. I think that's a great move as well. So, very interesting developments here. And that left the Sentinels roster rumoured as follows. So, we think that Caillou is coming in as the in-game leader. As it stands, there is no John QT. Obviously, Zekken's long gone, but there is no John QT. He may come back, but he may not. I mean, Caillou has been linked here for some time. He's the in-game leader, right, for the Qbet Academy. So if he's there, John QT almost certainly is not there, right? So Caillou is there. Narrate is not going anywhere. Bang has been released. I don't expect Narrate to go anywhere. Then Cortasia. But over the last few days, of course, Zellsis has still been scrimming with the team. And there was a feeling that, okay, is Zellsis the man to build around? Is he the man that you need with that roster? And all these questions were going around. Sen even said last night on YouTube, roster news is coming soon. So we will get an answer relatively soon, but there are some serious rumours also going on. So this really kick-started a load of drama last night. Cloud9 Valorant say, today we part ways with our guiding voice in the server, Mitch. He came when we needed a leader. He pushed us through challenges. An opportunity came during trials, so the team decided to go in another direction. So very interesting. I think Mitch did a pretty damn good job last year. There will be a lot of questions as to whether this is the right decision or not. They've even got 10s in the bio. Look, I don't know what you guys think about this, but it caused a load of drama yesterday, and that has not stopped. So Mitch is officially released. That leaves their roster as Oxy, Zeppa, Vic for now. So presumably, Oxy and Zeppa certainly aren't going anywhere. Vic, you know, maybe would probably stay as well. Imi as the coach, but he was their IGL. So who else are they getting as an IGL? Now, there was loads of drama here, right? So this was Mitch's girlfriend's, Izzy, who tweeted this out, right? So this is hilarious. I just wanted to go through these. Ryan says, illogical that Mitch, who brought so much structure to C9 when they needed it, is the one to get the axe. Frustrating decision. Izzy then says they didn't even have a strat book before Mitch joined, which is probably understandable because they just messed around with a couple of in-game leaders and they got a different way. She says that we designed the strat book together, which I thought was pretty funny. Then they go on to say this: Mitch just really wanted to win. If the rest of his team don't want it badly enough, there's not much else you can do. Now, look, of course, the girlfriends are always going to be biased, right? Family members, girlfriends are always going to be biased, but it's just entertaining, right? So we'll share it. He worked so hard to get them to the top 4. It's just a shame that he's been cut after 99% of rosters have been secured. Feels vindictive and icky to him, which is also an interesting point right there. Now Mitch has been dropped, and now, quite a few weeks after they could have decided to go a different direction, there are fewer rosters that you can now join. She then goes on to say, nepotism will always win, which is absolutely hilarious, which kind of implies what we might be seeing next. Now, Rooney, who of course also played for C9, wasn't quite so in agreement with this and says, as a player who played the first 2 years for C9, this is nowhere near true. Can't speak for the off-season rebuild, but their coaches did spend so much time with this stuff, not trying to start drama, but C9 gets enough hate for the wrong reasons. So kind of saying that, well, no, you know, maybe they're making a sensible decision. And then she goes on to say, can't even be surprised. knows nothing beats the power of friendship, and that aligns pretty well with the return of Zellsis. So this, again, it kind of come out of nowhere, right? We've seen this before. This is the classic Cloud9 minus Zellsis plus Zellsis minus Zellsis plus Zellsis again, right? Like, we've seen them do this with numerous players over the years. And it's happening again, right? We know that Zellsis pretty much built what Cloud9 were cooking up a couple of years ago before he went to Sentinels, and now it looks like he's on his way back to C9. So is this the plan for the Mitch replacement, right? Because if it is, it's very interesting. Like, is Zellsis going to come in and in-game lead this team? Possibly that is the plan. That is kind of the implication of what we've seen over the last couple of minutes. Look, maybe not. If that is the case, though, do I like it? I'm not so convinced. Do I understand why the team would want to do it from like a friendship perspective? Like, yeah, I understand it. So this is really a big deal, right? If Zellsis is actually on his way back, again, there were some questions on why this has happened from the top level. Because if you are Zellsis, would you prefer to stay on Sentinels, the organization you've been the bundle boy for the last couple of years? You know, Zellsis as a personality fits very well with the Sentinels ethos. I don't expect that he wants to leave. Would he pick Cloud9 over Sentinels? Unlikely. The implication, therefore, being that despite the fact that Zellsis has scrimmed with the team for the last couple of weeks, it's not going very well. They've decided to move on from Zellsis, and as a result, he hit up the boys at Cloud9, and Zephyr was like, hell yeah, let's drop Mitch right now. That is kind of the implication, possibly the read between the lines, and tweet your thoughts in the comments. Look, are Cloud9 cooking? Or are they not cooking at all? It's a very good question. Do you like the move? But what does it mean for Sen as well, right? Because now they've got another couple of players to find as well. Who knows what they do next? And tweet your thoughts in the comments. Just a couple of final things. Furia spotted scrimming against NRG with EU in their lineup. That's also a particularly big deal. We'll see if that goes anywhere. There was also EG spotted with Satellite in their team as well, of course on Qubits, but probably not going to end up on Sentinels as it stands. We've got Demon1 tweeting this out, which implies that he's probably not going anywhere for the upcoming season right now. So look, I could spend more time on these discussions, but we're going to have to leave it there for the day. So very much enjoyed your thoughts in the comments. Hit the like button if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new, take care, and I'll see you next time.